In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 different situations. They're different, but at the same time, they're the same. The first situation I'm going to talk about and show you a video is with P Diddy. The second is about a man who's determined, even though he's in custody, he's determined to get his way. He's not going to let anyone or any situation stop him from doing what he wants to do. And the third one is about a woman who was armed by her husband and 72 other men, but she didn't know anything about it. So looking at Diddy's situation, he is a sexual deviant. And I see a lot of people, it's true enough, we don't know everything that went on, behind closed doors unless she was actually there, or if they actually go to trial and then evidence is presented and then we can know what all the evidence is. But at the same time, they have to have some type of evidence in order for them to actually bring charges against him. And they're also speaking with other people, and so more charges can come based on the information they have. And what you have to also understand about the feds, they're not going to show their hand. They're not going to tell you everything they have or all the investigation they're still doing behind the scenes. They're going to wait until they have all the information they need, and then they will present more charges if there are additional charges that need to be made or need to be filed. The problem that I have is when it comes to men as well, when it comes to black men, as well as his lawyer is saying that they're just trying to bring a black man down. This is not one of those situations. It's okay as far as the world go if 2 men want to be together. It's okay as far as the world go if people want to have orgies. That's fine as long as everyone is consenting. But what you have to understand is that if he's holding a person against their will, if they want to leave and he's not allowing them to leave, and you've seen that situation with Cassie, she wanted to leave him. She was at the elevator and he attacked her, which you cannot do. You cannot go around putting your hands on people, regardless if you're in a relationship with them or not. You cannot do that. Then at the same time, there are people who saying they were with him and he, some people had tranquilizers in their system because they ended up going to the hospital and they found that all these different drugs and tranquilizers was in their system. So they're unconscious. Once a person is unconscious, you can't touch them because they cannot consent to what has been done to them. Even if they was okay walking through the door with being with you or being a part of that situation, as soon as they're unconscious, as soon as they're, they can't make a rational decision, anything after that, you cannot do. And it's a lot of validity to what Cassie said even before the tapes came out. Because if you remember back, one of the things she said in her statement is that he was videotaping her with these in these free calls with these ex-workers. And she also stated that he would, every time she tried to delete them, he would have them, the videos again. And I'm going to show you a video of 50 Cent stating that he's seen the video of Cassie.
I don't know. I know chicks out on the up and up. The fuck, like he called, we should kick it on the telephone and after the mate.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they send me the girl pictures of the girl, not the that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you killing me up.
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Phil.
all that. And I called the nigga, I said, yo, you with this girl, you like her like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you something. You look at it, you call me back. I I sent him the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man, about that. Yo, I really appreciate that. Yo, where you get these shit from? And I said, you know, like, cause they know, like, if something crazy's going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure it get out there. Like, as far as this video.com is concerned.
Yeah, yep.
And those other properties, so they sent it to me. I really kind of felt like those photographs were not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
So I'm not going to go with what were the pictures about. They are what they are. What, like, clearly, I guess the thing I want to know is who. I was told they were leaked. True or false?
True.
Not by you, right?
Not by me. Definitely not by me.
Do you know who did it, or do you have an idea?
We're closer to an idea of who did it. Yeah, it's being somewhat investigated. I mean, we're really supposed to talk about it like that,
right.
But yeah, I think we're close to finding out who it was.
Contacted about the sale of one of the Diddy tapes, but didn't reveal who was in the video, but said Diddy and someone high profile could be seen in the sex tape. In a late September interview on News Nation's Banfield, Mitchell Kidd said she wouldn't reveal who the celeb was, but said the tapes were leaking around Hollywood.
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
According to an article in the New York Post, the video allegedly appears to show Combs having sex with a young male A-lister whose faces are both visible. In a return interview on News Nation's Banfield, Mitchell Kidd revealed one or two major news networks are in a bidding war for the footage.
The person who has the tape really doesn't want to shop it around. They really want to help and give it to wanted to directly sell it to that person, but it seems as if they are going elsewhere. I believe we're sooner rather than later maybe finding out, unless that person comes and purchases the video themselves, which is really the goal of the people who have the video. They just, at this point, if that person doesn't want to purchase it, then it's going to go on the open market.
That A-lister, who is reportedly the subject of the tape, is now horrified the footage is being shopped around the media outlets, according to the star's inner circle. An insider told the Post it's triggering and a nightmare for the star. The insider said it feels like a betrayal and a violation, and it's causing a lot of issues. It brings up some really disturbing and bad memories. He feels like he was victimized years ago and is now being victimized yet again. If this footage gets out, it will follow him for life. It'll be on the internet forever. A second source told the New York Post the celeb is trying to ignore the chatter about the video. That second source told the outlet there's not much he can do about it if there was a video taken without his knowledge that somehow gets out. So all he can do is pray. He's praying that all of this goes away. The Post also didn't name the A-lister because it's unclear if the mystery celeb was a victim of a sex crime or if he was an adult at the time of the footage.
So a lot of what she's saying has come to fruition when she stated that, he beat her. You seen that in the videotape when she said that he was filming her and he was threatening to release those tapes and how, kind of like make her look bad in society by releasing those tapes. Because you have to think about this, whether a person know a tape is being made of them or even if they don't know they're being video, you cannot go around showing other people those tapes because they're not agreeing to you showing those tapes. If they know, they have to agree, yeah, I'm fine with you showing other people. Yeah, I'm fine with them getting around in society. But if they don't know, you definitely can't do that because that is called revenge P. That's like you're showing them in a vulnerable situation. You can't do that. So morally, he's doing a lot of things that are wrong, and he's doing a lot of things that are against the law. So if you see some of this stuff, and you know what this man is doing, then you have to also think about, okay, there may be some truth to what other people are saying because he just straight up and said, oh, I never did that. He lied about that. And and then when 50 said, because 50 someone sent him the video and he sent it to Sean thinking that Sean was going to be like shocked and surprised, like, oh, where did you get this from? But he was excited. Oh, where did you get this from? How did you get your hands on that? He's not feeling bad for Cassie. He's excited for himself that other people are seeing what he's doing, what's going on. So you got to think about, and then like other women said the same thing. that he was going around showing other people these tapes. So you got to think about how many tapes are out there. Right now they're saying, a lawyer saying that people are going around shopping around a tape of him and another man, and they're trying to do a catch and kill so that tape do not come out to the public. But they can't tell if that person was a minor at the time when the tape was made, when the video was made. So that has been a sexual deviant. And a lot of people keep saying, well, he don't want certain things to come out because he don't want people to know he gay. One thing, if you ever look at him around other men, he's not gay in the typical fashion that you would think about a person being gay. He's one of these type of people that he used X with men as a power play. It's not about being gay, it's about being in control of this man. Here it is, a heterosexual man, because all these men that was coming try to be in the music industry, they was coming there as heterosexual men. They wanted to get a career, and it's like he broke them. He took their manhood away. So that's a power play. So that's why when you see him with these men, and these men start getting nervous, and their demeanor change, before they're like, yeah, like tough guy. Then when he come, they kind of whimper down. He like that. That is a turn on for him. And so that's not a typical gay person. That is a person that is using X to control men, to show a power play. He is a deviant. Because when it comes to women, he doesn't do that with women. He controls women by scaring them, by beating them, by doing different things like that. Because, you never really heard of him doing, beating the man. But he controls them, and he do things to them in a actual way to show his dominance over them. And so I'm gonna go to the second film and show you that.
Into two sections. There's a waiting area for women, and then there's another one for men. There's a desk at the dividing line where a deputy sits, supposed to be keeping an eye on things. It's almost 4 a.m. at this point, so a lot of the detainees are trying to sleep. Some are in street clothes, others are in orange jail jumpsuits, and a lot of them have huddled down inside their shirts to try to stay warm or to block out the light. Some are spread out on the floor, and that includes our suspect, Avery. So Avery, as you see in this video, seems to get up off the floor, stretches, appears to wait for one of the deputies to leave the room, then he sits down and slides out of view of the deputy, allegedly crawling and pushing himself backwards around the desk. He appears to get away with this for a little over a minute as he pushes himself toward a woman in white who's trying to sleep on the floor of the woman's side of the room. Then you have other cameras that give us a view of Avery getting closer to the woman before he appears and allegedly starts to pull his pants down and expose himself. Now, there are other women sitting in the same area. One appears to be asleep on the floor, while the other is in a chair. It's unclear from the video if she says something to Avery, but he seems to put his finger to his lips in a be quiet gesture. And that is when the deputy looks up, realizes what's going on, realizes that Avery's on the wrong side of the room, and as soon as he's spotted, Avery appears to stand up, pulling up his pants as he walks away from the woman on the floor.
So you can see with this man, he was locked up because he SA'd 3 women. They finally caught him and locked him up. He's in like a holding processing room. They have a side where there's men, they have a side where there's women, and there's just the security desk in between them. While he's in lockup, knowing cameras are in there with him, knowing a guard is there as well, knowing other people are there, he still refused to submit to authority and say, okay, I'm going to stop SAing people. He scoots all the way over there in the view of everyone and tries to R this woman. And if that other woman wasn't sitting there and said, get off her, he may have been able to move forward with what he just, move forward with SAing her or R'ing her in a public place with cameras, knowing there are cameras, with the security guard there, and he's already in custody. That tells you the mentality of these type of people when it comes to deviant. And that's why it hurts me when I see men protect men like this and make excuses for men like this, because all you do is make it dangerous for women out there in the world. I'm not one of these women that are against men. I'm not one of these women that hate men, but it's like, open your eyes and see, it's like, look at what women have to go through when they're in an environment. If you in lockup with the security guard there and all these people around, and this man is still trying to take advantage, think about what would happen to her if she would have been walking down the street by herself on her way, from walking from a store to her car and ran into him. It's like he did not care. All he wanted was gratification, lust. He seen her, he wanted her, and he lusted for her, and he was refusing to let anything stop him for that short-term gratification. And if they would have caught him in the act, all he would have got was more charges, but he would have been okay with that, because he would have been able to fulfill that lust for that one moment. And that is very deviant, that's very dangerous, and that is a problem that men have. Some men, not all men, but men have. And when other men make excuses for that type of behavior, that doesn't help women. All that do is hurt women. And then I'm going to show you a third video. This is the video where the woman, she was arred by her husband, and well as 72 other men. And when this happened, each time that it happened, she had no clue of what was going on. Let me just go ahead and show you the video.
At the center of it is one man, Dominique Pellico. He's 71 years old. For over a decade, he drugged his wife. Her name is Giselle. He drugged and then raped her. And not just that, he invited 72 other men to also rape her. Giselle did not protest or complain. Do you know why? Because she had no idea that this was happening to her. She was so heavily sedated that she was unaware of what was being done to her for 10 whole years. It's hard to even imagine it, let alone living this nightmare. The case is now in court. The husband and 50 other men are on trial. All hearings will be public. More horrendous details are expected to be revealed. The abuse is said to have begun in 2011. The couple lived in Mazan in southeastern France. Every evening, Dominique would crush sleeping pills and anxiety medication. He would mix this in Giselle's food. That put her into a deep sleep. Experts have compared it to a state of coma. Then he raped her, and then he went online to a chat room where he invited other men to rape and sexually abuse his wife. These men came from all walks of life: truck drivers, soldiers, a journalist, a nurse, a prison guard, an IT expert working at a bank. They were between 26 to 74 years of age. Most of them were either married or in a relationship. Some even had children. Most of these men raped her once, but some kept coming back, raping her as many as 6 times. The police says she was raped at least 92 times by 72 men. And her husband, Dominique, filmed all of these acts. He had very strict rules for these men, apparently, to make sure that his wife remained unconscious throughout. The men were asked to park away from the house, to undress in the kitchen. They were banned from smoking. They could not wear a cologne. They were asked to have neat fingernails. They were asked to warm their hands. He made them run their hands under hot water so that the touch wouldn't wake her up. And all of this went on for nearly a decade. Through this period, Giselle lost weight. She lost her hair. She was forgetting days. The family thought it was Alzheimer's. Her husband told her it could be tiredness. Of course, she believed him. They'd been together since she was 18. They had 3 children. Giselle believed her husband could do no wrong. But all of it changed in 2020. One day, she was summoned to the police station. Dominique had been arrested. He was at a grocery store where he tried filming up the skirts of 3 women. They reported him to the police. The police seized his cell phones, cameras, and other devices. And on them, they found 300 photographs of Giselle. She was unconscious in the photos. The police also discovered chats. They began an investigation, through the course of which they found 20,000 videos and photographs. 20,000 videos and photographs, most of them were labeled. They were kept in an electronic folder called Abuse. Giselle had no clue. She had no memory of being raped or abused. The family was in for a shock. In fact, Dominique had not just filmed his wife, he kept nude photos of his daughter as well.
Now, this is her husband. This is somebody she was supposed to be able to trust. This is somebody who was supposed to protect her. But instead, he was drugging her each night, putting sleeping pills into her, crushing them up into her food to the point that they would say it was like she was, like in a coma. That's how out she was. She could have died in that situation, but he did not care. All he cared about is his sick gratification of, this is your wife. You're trying to tell me she's not doing anything with you to the point that you got to get her unconscious in order to be with her? That reminds me, just like I said with these people who were saying that they was unconscious with Diddy. And I'm going to say allegedly with Diddy, they was unconscious. They didn't know what was going on. That reminds me of people who are into being with dead people. They call that necrophilia. People who actually sleep with dead people. Because why would you want someone unconscious? Because they have no clue of what's going on. They're just laying there, and really, she was like inches away from being dead because she's unconscious. She's like almost like in a state of being in a coma. And then not only did he do that to her, he goes online and invite other men to come. And then these men are married. So you're leaving your wife to come and be a part of this. And like I said, if you think about, if a man should be able to say, you know what, I got a wife. I'm not going to go be with another man's wife. This could be a trap. This could be a setup. Suppose he was psychotic and after you was with his wife, he killed you, ended your life, and buried you in the basement somewhere. But their lust, their desire drove them to do that, not knowing what the situation was how the situation was going to end. And then some men kept coming back, but no one reported him. At no point in time did they say, you know what, I'm online, I'm seeing this is not right. He shouldn't be doing this to his wife. Let me go ahead and report him to authorities. Let me be a man and protect women. Even though I'm not physically going out there, even though I'm not physically doing anything, but I do have the ability to reach out to the authorities to let them know what this man is doing. This man is loose in society. They never think about, if I have a daughter, what type of man am I letting my daughter out into the world to be around? These men are walking free in the world. These men are living their lives like nothing's going on. These men are men that you're dealing with on a daily basis. So you don't know, you're going into the store, they're looking at you as a certain way, picturing you, what if I had a chance, this is what I do to her. If I had a chance, this is what I do to him. These are people that's walking around in society because a lot of people protect these type of people. A lot of people don't want to tell on these type of people. A lot of people make excuses for these type of people, and these type of people are truly dangerous because you never know what situation you're going to be in as a woman and run into these people. And you can also see that his own daughter wasn't even safe with him because he had nudes of his own daughter, his own. So that's why I get frustrated with men on that part when they defend people like that and then say, oh, you're just trying to bring down a successful black man. When you see a deviant, the person is a deviant. It doesn't matter what color they are. You know, as a man, if you find out that your son was SA'd by a white man, you're a black man, your black son is SA'd by a white man, would that be, or would you prefer him to be SA'd by a black man? Or would that be wrong either way? Would you be upset either way? And that's how you have to start thinking about it. A lot of people don't think about, you have children that's going out into this world, and they can easily fall prey to these type of people because they're out there. They look normal, they act normal, but they're out there. And you as a parent isn't always there to protect them. You as a husband, if you're not the deviant as a husband, you're not always around your wife to protect them. So when you see men behaving in a certain type of way, it's like, don't condone that behavior. Don't cheer that type of behavior on. And that's why it's important, especially as Christian, that we follow the Bible. Because if you look at the Bible, you're not supposed to have, you're not supposed to be with anyone outside of marriage. You're not supposed to be with someone else's husband or wife, because that's going against God. God put these rules there for a reason, and that's why it's important that we follow them as Christian. And when you look at 1 John 2, 15 through 17, it says, "Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and pride of life, is not from the Father, but from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever." So a lot of people, especially when they have money, they feel they can do anything they want. They're savages. They get anything they want. Isn't that what Diddy said? He a savage. He get anything he want. And some people feel that way. Some people feel like I don't have to, if a person say no to me, that no doesn't mean anything. I can just take it. Oh, and if I can't take it, I'm going to put something in their drink. I'm going to put something in their food. They're going to be knocked out, so they're going to be unconscious and don't know what I'm doing to them. So they can't even tell on me because, I took advantage of them. That's the world that we're living in. That's reality. And it's like we have to be careful out there. Not just women, but also men. But we have to be wise to what's going on. And we have to look at things not just based on, oh, it's somebody trying to bring a black man down. Is it possible that he may be guilty of some of these things? Is it possible that some of these people may be telling the truth on him? Is it possible that some people may be lying? Yes, both ways, because we wasn't there. But don't automatically, just, oh, they lying. It's a money grab. It's this, it's this. Just like if I sat there and said, oh, everyone who said he did something to him, he's guilty of that. I would be wrong to say that because I don't know. The evidence has to show itself. But to sit there and say, oh, this person lying, oh, this person enjoyed it, oh, this person wanted it, you can't say that on the other end. The only thing you can say is based on what facts or what evidence has actually been presented and we have actually seen in those situations. But until the rest of the evidence come out, until the rest of people come forward and get justice for what he did to them, we're not going to know what actually happened behind closed doors. Except for the people who've seen the videos that are being shopped around and they're trying to do catch and kill. Those are the people who really know the true Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Sean Combs, Brother Love, whoever he want to call himself. Once those videos get out and people start seeing them, then they can see who he really is. And then if there's any minors in those videos, or if they're seeing people just knocked out unconscious and they truly don't know what's going on with themselves, or if they see them saying, no, resisting, I don't want to do this, stop. If they hear anyone say stop, then yes, he could be charged with R, because that's what it would be.